today is the 9th day. Of course, today is the 9th day. My name is Jude, Ikami Jude, and I'm here because you're there. Let's talk about all that is happening in Nigeria this time. Of course, I want to give you all of the headlines that you need this morning. And when I'm done, I would have Rufai Oseni. And when I'm done with Rufai Oseni, I would have CP Chooks, and one who is also waiting to talk to us. Everyone, stay there and let's do this together this morning. Let's punch it together first. 2027 Southeast professionals back Tinubu, dismiss opposition coalition. Southeast professionals, that's what we hear. Southeast professionals back Tinubu, dismiss opposition coalition. And then let's go. 2027 presidency, Mark cautions Atiku Obi as federal government slams coalition chiefs. Mark cautions Atiku Obi as federal government slams coalition chiefs. (2025) admissions, JAM sets 150 benchmark bars under 16. Police rescue 38 Cameroonians locked up in Ogun building. Natasha postpones Senate return as NAS awaits apology. VCs set admission benchmark at 150 for varsities. And then there's an updated story here. Federal government sets admission age at 16. Okay. To some of the headlines now quickly. 2027 opposition parties adopt ADC in Gombe. INEC opens media accreditation portal for by-elections. ADC leaders have no preferred presidential aspirant. Mark replies Kachiku. ADC leaders have no preferred presidential candidate or aspirant. Mark replies Kachuku. ADC mobilizes 97 lawyers to defend interim leaders in court. 97 lawyers to defend interim leaders in court. Ondo PDP, Labour Party chieftain joins ADC-led coalition. All right. Let's save you some more headlines now, everyone. Yeah. Tinubu trying to weaken opposition, ADC alleges. They're trying to weaken opposition. All right. Let me give you, there are some special headlines courtesy the nation right now. Let's go there quickly, everyone. Olubadan. Ibadan begins 21-day mourning for late Olubadan. Senate okays 272.47 billion naira as NCC 2025 budget. $9.5 million forex dispute. Appeal on hearing notice dismissed. Senate, House reps clash over concurrence bills. Senate, House of Reps clash over concurrence bills. And then NEMA deploys ambulances in Kaduna, Owerri, Uyo to boost emergency preparedness. US restricts Nigerians, others, to single entry 3 months visas. And then let me serve you just one more here. Governor, bandits, live among us, or leave rather, beg your pardon, governors. There's a governor that is saying that. He said bandits live among us in Katsina. Okay. Let's check up the Sun newspaper now. The Sun is quite sunny with a couple of headlines. Check your time, everyone. It's 7:06 a.m. ADC mocks Tinubu over exclusion from U.S. trade talks. Federal government pegs 16 years for tertiary school admission. So if you are not up to 16 years, forget about admission. All of those are under 16. No. That's what federal government is saying right now. Federal government issues over 3.5 million passports, saves 1 billion naira from reforms. Federal government reaffirms commitment to reform agenda, says Tinubu, not distracted. Sokoto Assembly passed vote of confidence in Governor Aliyu. Coalition, our structures intact, says the People's Democratic Party. Our structures intact. Anambra Guba, Ukachukwu Ekwinife's campaign gains traction and support. 2027 presidency, Tinubu will win if coalition picks Southerner. Kenneth Okonkwo is the one speaking here. 2027 presidency, Tinubu will win if coalition picks Southerner, according to Kenneth Okonkwo. In other words, if ADC picks Peter Obi, Tinubu will win. Or any other person from the southeast or south, anywhere around the south, Tinubu will win. That's what he's saying. Okay, let's see how it plays out. 2027, I don't see Labour Party winning any election, says Kingibe. ADC assembles 97 lawyers to challenge APC's fake lawsuit against interim leadership. Coalition politicians crying because they are not in government. Governor Rada is the one speaking. They are crying because they are not in government. Okay, from the Sun newspaper, we move quickly to Daily Trust newspaper now. Daily Trust now. Questions over Tinubu's 2027 campaign posters. I'll give you a breakdown of that story later. There are posters seen in some places, Tinubu's campaign posters. So people are asking questions. What's going on? It's not 2027 yet. Students accused of setting boyfriend ablaze. Nigerians to get 3-month single entry US visa on the new policy. And then Foundation hosts National Agriculture Symposium in Katsina. Zamfara government clears 13.6 billion naira unpaid gratuities. 4 fed dead as rainstorm destroys houses in Kano. In Plateau now, killing of 70 vigilantes won't deter us from fighting bandits. It's okay. Let me give you 4 more here. 4 more. How Ghanaian commission official died after encounter with one chance and robbers in Abuja. ADC has no preferred presidential aspirant, says David Mark. 90% of bandits terrorizing Katsina, not strangers. Oh, you see? Governor Rada speaking. They are not strangers. They are with us. They are with us. They are with us. Now to Vanguard, everyone. Check your time. 7:09 a.m. Again, Dangote Refinery or Dangote Petroleum Refinery slashes petrol price to 820 naira per liter. 2027 ADC will collapse in 6 months, says presidency. Presidency blasts IMF over report on inflation and poverty. Stanbic IBTC Bank meets CBN's recapitalization requirements. First Nigerian-owned container vessel docks in Lagos. And then 2027 ADC will collapse in 6 months, according to presidency. Naira appreciates to 1,560 naira per dollar in the parallel market. Naira appreciates to 1,560 naira per dollar in the parallel market. Again, Dangote Refinery slashes petrol price to 820 naira per liter. Anxiety mounts in Ondo over meeting undergraduates. No student was shot or killed during Auchi Poly SUG election. School management is speaking. No student was killed. Why I postponed my resumption? Akpoti Udwanga. And then Peter Mba's noiseless strides in Enugu State is a very beautiful one. You might just catch it and read. The role of education in human development by Afe Babalola is another one. And the ADC is scared, drowning in confusion, says the All Progressives Congress. ADC is scared and drowning in confusion, says APC. "2027, we don't owe you Nigeria's presidency." Showumi shades Atiku. 97 lawyers line up to defend ADC. Mark Aregbeshola against APC's fake lawsuit. Will you bring back fuel subsidy? Governor Rada questions coalition leaders. Will you bring back fuel subsidy? Tinubu's 2027 fate. 5 political fault lines ADC is watching closely. 5 political fault lines ADC is watching closely. Tinubu's 2027 fate. Okay. ADC won't hand over structures to Atiku, Obi, Amechi, and others, says Lukman. ADC won't hand over structures to Atiku, Obi, Amechi, and others. This is Lukman speaking. Bamidele Akpabio defends Senate amidst row over neglect of reps' bills. And then constitutional review, reigniting debates around old fault lines is another one here. And then 2027 presidency plotting destabilizer, says ADC. Let's move quickly now to Daily Post. Daily Post has got some more stories here. Coalition, shut up! Get out! What's your problem? Babache Lawal attacks journalist. Shut up! Get out! What's your problem? What's your problem? Babache Lawal attacks journalist. I'll give you a breakdown of that so you get the full gist, okay? So just relax first. Kwankwanso faces tough decision. Moments as more heavyweights flawed ADC. 2027, Kwankwanso faces tough decision moments as more heavyweights flawed ADC. Again, Dangote refinery reduces fuel price. Tinubu not distracted again. As regards the coalition, Tinubu not distracted at all. This is the Nigerian government speaking. 2025 UTME, there is foul play in result of highest scorer, says JAMB. There is foul play. It's because of Tinubu's BRICS meeting. Buhari's ex-aide on U.S. short-term visa for Nigerians. It's because of Tinubu's BRICS meeting. Okay, let's move on. FCT teachers suspend strike after about 3 months. Governor Mufswang commissions 150 agro rangers to boost food security in Plateau. Northwest Development Commission, Governor Uba Sani discussed poverty, insecurity, and of course, unemployment. U.S. government begins issuing 3-month single entry visas to Nigerians. Prison fellowship, legal practitioners commence validation for restorative justice in Kano State. I don't see Labour Party winning election. FCT Senator King Ibe speaking here. And then on 2027, ADC rejects claims of Atiku rejecting to quit presidential race. ADC rejects claims of Atiku rejecting to quit presidential race. Imo PDP denies coalition talk with any political party. Still ADC now. Peter Obi will end as campaign DG to Atiku and Amechi. APC chieftain speaking. Peter Obi will end as campaign DG to Atiku and Amechi. So in other words, they're saying that Atiku will lead and Amechi will be the vice. Peter Obi will be the campaign DG. Now let's see. Senator Abamoro distances self from coalition. And finally, here, no ADC Southern candidate can defeat Tinubu, says Kenneth Okonkwo. Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Like I told you, feel very free to join the conversation. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, we're streaming live. Just go there, VOP 90.3 FM, and then to the comment section, and let's get your thoughts, okay? Yeah, that's it. VOP 90.3 FM. This time around, we want to join Rufai Oseni. Yes, for an analysis of some of these headlines. And then, like I told you, when I'm done, we will have a former commissioner of police. All right? Let's join the fire now.
A couple of things. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo has come out to openly say that he will support the North in the next presidential elections. Anyway, he has a right to support anybody he wants to support. But it has to be said, and like I said yesterday, that this idea that it is only Atiku Abubakar that can beat Bola Tinubu, it's an idea that is not founded yet on facts. And the last election should prove something. And the 2019 election should also prove something. And if for anything, Atiku Abubakar, we respect him, has been in the race since 1993. It was the same analogy that was given. In fact, some people also gave that analogy during the time of Buhari before he finally did win. Question is, those that are saying they are going to support somebody from the north now, is it not an aberration against the zeitgeist of the nation that it's time for power to come to the south, and after 8 years, power can come back to the north? Normally, my school of thought about matters like this is it should be about competence. I don't care where the president comes from.
Okay.
But since we have built a society where it's about a regional divide for balancing, is it not supposed to be after power comes right to the south and it's 8 years, then it goes back to the north? Gentleman's agreement. And that's why when you look at it in the coalition, those that are talking about not supporting the southern candidates, is it feasible that after just 4 years of President Bola Tinubu, and a lot of people are clamoring for another southern candidates, and some people are pushing somebody from the north to be able to take power because the north feels disgruntled? So if the north now takes power, is it going to be another 8 years and the cycle continues? Because I've also heard them make this analogy that, oh, it was Jonathan that distorted the octets, that Jonathan used their term, so the agreement is not complete. And I hear that argument across board. But the question is it a valid argument? And is it because it is one candidate, Atiku Abubakar, that is running, on the ballot? Because when it's so easy, people cite political arguments. That argument never came into play in 2019 where Atiku was running against Buhari. It's convenient to make that argument now because he was running against the southern candidates. I've always said something. The presidential ambition of some people will be the albatross of this coalition, and it's beginning to happen, like I predicted. Because what will happen is they've said they should do an open primaries, they shouldn't pass, should not go to the south, or no one should everybody should compete for it. What will happen is the open primaries will lead to the emergence of probably Atiku. It
Okay.
will disgruntle people like Peter Obi. And what will happen is we will go ahead. Peter Obi will have to go and look for another platform to run, and he will split the same votes, and it's going to open a clear opportunity for President Tinubu to emerge. And by my read, this might probably be the case in the next election. The disagreements and the disgruntled, discordant tunes is going to lead to the emergence, most likely, of a President Tinubu. I might be wrong, I might be right,
Okay.
but I've started to see the signs. And it will be on record that I said it, that if all parties cannot come together, and the myth has always been this Atiku is the best man to defeat Tinubu in an election. And I keep asking people, can we prove it empirically? Because in the last score of the last election, that was how they said, oh, Atiku is the best man to beat what's it called, Tinubu in the election. But all of a sudden, when Peter Obi did well, the argument now became, oh, if Atiku and Peter Obi had come together. At some point, the PDP thought they were coasting to victory before Tinubu did win the election. United States is saying that it's going to be 3 months single entry for visas. They said those that they will issue visa before 8th of July, they will not suffer this fate, but it's going to be single month entry. And there's a lot of back and forth as regards that. So the era of 5-year visa and the likes, I don't think it really exists any longer. What exists these days is the era of 3 months visa. There's going to be a lot of reactions to it, you know.
Okay.
I would like to quickly set some records straight as regards this back and forth on the Senator Natasha Akpoti's issue. Number one, like I repeated many times, contempt is to the courts. Because there's been a deliberate attempt to say that contempt is to, what's it called? Is to the Senate, because they were the one that brought up the issue of contempt. And I'm going to take us on a journey of how contempt proceedings is even filed in the first place. And the question we should ask is, did the courts follow the right level of contempt proceedings as stated in the Sheriffs and Civil Process Acts and the Judgment Enforcement Rules? That's the number one question. Secondly, I understand that Senator Akpoti's lawyer did file a counter contempt suit, and there are empirical facts to prove that it was not only her that was in contempt of the court when the court said both parties shouldn't talk about the matter. In fact, as at the 30th, 29th to 30th, it was that time a counsel to Akpabio, Olisa Agbakoba, did write to Natasha Akpoti, and that letter is made public. In fact, if my memory serves me right, I'm going to dig out that letter. And that letter was on the 29th, was reported by Channels TV website on the 29th of 29/4/2025. That's April, where retracts sexual harassment allegation against Akpabio, Agbakoba tells Natasha. That was also contemptuous. I don't know. The court will have to prove it, because it was a time that the court said, don't talk about this matter. But the letter was also written. And what they are finding Senator Natasha Akpoti for is also contempt because she wrote a poem about erection, which the court claimed now that is on the matter. So also I hear that they had also filed this, but the court threw out their own position that Agbakoba's letter was not contemptuous. Anyway, she will have to file an appeal on that. I see a lot of Sam that are going around talking that contempt is against the court, but a lot of Sam too have been condemning those Sam. I've been saying that contempt, that the Sam that are trying to appeal, that say contempt against the Senate should go and apologize to the Senate. But let's go back and look at the process of how to file a case of contempt. And I'm reading from the provisions of the Sheriff and Civil Process Act. There must first be a Form 48 issuance. The question is, before the judge now ruled that they found Senator Akpoti in contempt, did they issue a Form 48?
Okay.
The Form 48 is a notice of consequences of disobedience to court order, and it's a formal notice served on an alleged contemptor to warn them against consequences of failing to comply with a court order. It is not a judge that issues this form, it's a procedural step handled by the court registrar. If the parties involved does not respond to the Form 48, then a Form 49 should suffice. That's what the Section 72 of the Sheriff and Civil Process Act says. So it is the Form 49 that now heralds. The question we would like to ask is, did the courts or did Natasha's legal team get any of the Form 48 and Form 49? Because see, there are case law to that effect. That in Akpeano versus Olumu, the court held that failing to serve Form 48 and Form 49 renders contempt proceedings null and void. In Ojemi and Momodu, the court stressed that Form 48 gives the contemptor a chance to comply, understanding his role as a preliminary step before committal. In Omojale versus Umoru, the Supreme Court clarified contempt procedure, especially S. Fashe Korea, and requires strict adherence to procedural rules like Form 48 to protect the contemptor's right to fair hearing. Where Form 48 is not required is Fashe Korea, when you do the contempt in the face of the court, maybe you abuse a judge or something, or criminal contempt for outright scandalizing the court or interfering with justice. Form 48 is not typically used. Instead, criminal contempt may involve prosecution by the Attorney General or direct action depending on the case. The question is this case a criminal contempt? No, it's a civil contempt. So these are some of the procedural arguments that I've also put forward for clarity in the case. But like I stated, please go and check all literature. A lot of sand, not other sand that probably might have interest in the matter. A lot of sand have come to say categorically that contempt is in the face of the courts, it's against the courts. Apologies must be made to the courts. And it is only criminal contempt, we must repeat, that bars you from running in an election cycle. Was this case a case of criminal contempt? Only time will tell. ADC is saying Tinubu's failure behind US snob. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And I think ADC should not politicize all these issues. I don't believe that. ADC should not politicize all these issues.
Okay.
Trump has been snubbing everybody that cares to listen in the world.
Okay.
So I don't believe that. Bloomberg is saying that Nigeria is breaking away from oil dependence as our currency appreciated on the parallel market, despite the fact that crude oil prices is going down. The question we should ask Bloomberg is, does that mean that we've been able to service our budgets? What is our budgetary provisions?
Okay.
Huh? Does that mean we've been able to service our budgets? The crude oil slide has also affected us in many ways. Possible.
Thank you, Rufai. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Okay, now, after Rufai, I will want to talk, have a conversation with a former commissioner of police, like I told you. He is a political enthusiast and, of course, a historian. CP Chuksenwonwu is just right here to talk to us. Good morning to you, sire, and welcome.
Good morning to you, Ikamejudi, and to the listeners.
Good morning to you, CP. Let's get talking quickly. Kenneth Okonkwo, a member of the opposition alliance, believes President Bola Tinubu will win if the ADC nominates a southern presidential candidate like Peter Obi as its flag bearer in the 2027 election. He says that Tinubu will win if coalition picks a southerner, as a running mate. As a flag bearer of the ADC. What do you think? Is he playing down the chances of Peter Obi, or you feel that's just the truth?
What Okonkwo Kenneth said has failed the validity tests, in the sense that, number one, if a northern candidate is picked by whatever coalition or whatever name they go with, that northern candidate will not fly, because within the North themselves, there is that understanding that North takes 2 terms, the thing shifts to South. Except like what happened during Yaradua's time, which was a natural cause that he died, the thing automatically and constitutionally went to South, because the vice president then happens to be from South. Having said that, a situation where the North will bring out a candidate, he will obviously not have the support of the ruling class in the North. They will want the South to finish their 8 years. That is on one side.
Okay.
Then coming to the South, if, for instance, they decide to nominate Peter Obi as the presidential candidate of the coalition, what is likely to play out is that the North will divide itself into 2. That's what I'm foreseeing.
Okay.
The North Central area, dominated by Christians, will obviously follow Obi. That's a very likely thing that may happen. Then secondly, if we talk of the Northeast and Northwest, it is neither here nor there. Some of them obviously will still campaign for him. Then the other conservatives who are rooted in religion and tribalism may, because the present president happens to be a Muslim faithful, they may close their eyes and ask their supporters to go that direction. Then, on the other side, the liberals amongst them who do not see religion as a factor, who may have either fallen out with the powers that be or felt not favored, people like all this El Rufai and his group, will obviously not follow that conservative direction, whether they are conservatives naturally and principally or not. They will want to uproot what is happening in the present 4 years. That's the way I see it. And then some others who are not even on the side of the ruling party, people like Sule Lamido, have already declared their stand that once the thing happens to land on Peter Obi, he is going to galvanize support for him. So one cannot be very, very sure of the direction the thing will go. But in the final analysis, My concern is one, will there be a level playing ground in the electoral process in 2027? That's $1 million question. I'll end it at that for now.
So what you're saying in essence is that Kenneth Okonkwo is not right. He's not right. Just as people will say, some persons are saying the only person that can beat Tinubu is an Atiku. If not Atiku, no other person in Nigeria can beat Tinubu.
The thing is this: if he's talking of Atiku, will Atiku get any support at all from the South? The answer is capital no. Even in the North Central, they will not follow him because to them, it is not the turn of the North. So his only concern is possibly the Northeast and Northwest. And that side alone cannot win presidency for him. And I know why Atiku is really in a hurry, because time and age is no longer on his side. If you tell him to wait till 2031, he would have been over 80 years by then.
Okay.
And then for him to come out to say he wants to be president of Nigeria, they'll tell him, sorry, you have lost your chance. And then by then, some people will open the chapter where he could have gotten it on platter of gold in 2003. And he wasted it. That is just the truth of the matter, yes.
According to...
And that is why since that 2003, he has been trying desperately to see if he can enjoy that opportunity. But you know, sometimes they'll tell you that opportunity once missed would hardly come back again.
Let me quote Kenneth Okonkwo. He said, my strategy this time around is that I am going to support a Northerner in 2027. I mean, just like some people say, why can't this man support his own brother? At least to fight this cause. This is, a time where people should rally around, obese people should rally around him, just as the Yorubas will rally around their own man and vote for him, all right? And then Kenneth Okonkwo is doing something really strange. Some people call it very, very strange. Tipi, do you think is that strange the way people are seeing it?
No, it's not strange. There's nothing strange in it. You see, in politics, you cannot, all of you as Igbos, for instance, cannot go and rally around your candidate because he's an Igbo man. These things are supposed to be purely political, purely on, party affiliation and allegiance, and above all, on principles. So you cannot expect every Igbo man to be with Obi. Some will have to be with Tinubu, of course, unless you're trying to preach or bring back tribalism, which will never move us forward. So Kenneth Okonkwo is very, very free to join Atiku. There's nothing wrong in that. After all, in the past, Atiku had picked Ben Obi as his vice presidential candidate in 2007 under AC, Action Congress. And secondly, in 2019, again, he picked Peter Obi. So nothing, and he has been an in-law to the Igbos. He married an Onitsha lady, Jennifer Iwenjora, as his either fourth wife or so. So nothing is wrong in some Igbos mobilizing for him. But the question is, from the pendulum and the way you see things, is he going to make an impact? Is he going to win? He has lost his chance in 2003. He lost it. Since then, that's why he has been battling. The thing is not working out. The nearest again was 2019, and it went the way it did. So this idea that Kenneth Okonkwo is supporting a Northerner and the person of Atiku, there's nothing strange in it. It is very, very apt and very, very okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong in that.
In your opinion, CP, very candid opinion, do you think Atiku should at least give it a try again, probably the last time? And of course, Peter Obi should deputize, because even on this station here, some persons are of the opinion that, hey, Peter Obi should become VP. And let Atiku lead these two can do something really great. And some people say, no, it should be either Peter Obi. In fact, I read a couple of messages. Some person say, if not Peter Obi, let Tinubu continue. What's your take on this?
Well, that last bit is likely to play out. If not Peter Obi, let Tinubu continue. Because number one is that if Tinubu continues, he will have only one more term, which will take him to 2031, and he exits. Then the North will take their own 8 years. So Southeast should now wait. But on the other side, maybe because of the way the economy has been, oscillating like a galloping phenomenon, a lot of people are not happy with the way the governance has been, especially the prevailing hunger and hardship. Okay. So that's why a lot of them are routing for a change of the government. They are not looking at tribe, and they are not looking at the face of whoever is there. They believe that they need somebody that can drive and navigate us out of this food crisis, because it's a crisis when people cannot feed. But and two, they may have looked at Peter Obi's pedigree, and the background where he's coming from, and feel he could do something better. And Obi too, from the way he has been sounding, appears to be ready for just 4 years. Let them try him for the 4 years.
That was what he said.
Could be the difference.
That was what he said.
Yes. And see if there could be a difference. And I'm sure they not, in the last minute, decide to try him if there is that level playing ground. And if they try him, after that, once he will sign their papers for them behind the scene, though that one is not constitutional anyway, by 2031, he will quietly step aside and go his way. And the way this North behave, if you sign that accord with them, 2031, you bring out your truth that you want a second term because you have performed well. They will embarrass you like the way they did to Jonathan. Because from what I heard from those who are insiders in PDP, one way or the other, I'm close to those people. Then he said they told the man, look, we are finishing for this man, for the late Musa Yaradua, Umaru Musa Yaradua, that by 15, please, just leave the scene and give it to our northern people. And then by 15, they did what they did. Okay, everybody left him now and the PDP and ran to APC. And it happened the way it did, that Buhari, because he gets bulk vote in Northeast and Northwest, each of those elections, he was getting over 10 million votes.
Again, I want to ask you, CP.
On that,
CP, are you there?
Yes.
I want to find out from you. Is it that Peter Obi or Kenneth Okonkwo is not supporting Peter Obi for some personal issues with Peter Obi? Is that the reason why? Because the last time he spoke, he was telling us, he's not that Peter Obi did that, and he made several statements. So is this one of the reasons why Kenneth Okonkwo is not supporting the Peter Obi? It's like it's a personal grounds,
I don't think it is personal. You see, you bring in personal when an interest is involved. Maybe your interest has been jeopardized. I think Okonkwo, being a very vast and exposed person, hinges his decisions and actions on principles. It's his inalienable right to take his decisions and voice it out, that this is where I want to go. So nobody should, fault him on that line. Nobody should fault him.
Akindele Ayekoto has disclosed where the former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi will end in the ADC coalition. He disclosed that Obi will end as the Director General of the Atiku Amechi Presidential Campaign Organization as against the coalition's presidential candidate. From the look of things in his words, he said Peter Obi will be the DG of Atiku Amechi Campaign Organization. What are your thoughts about, on his statement? Obi will end as
No,
DG to Atiku Amechi.
you see, in every scenario or situation, when there is tension, some jesters and clowns will come in to make people laugh. And I think that's where this Akindele fits in. He's only trying to make us laugh and make us, focus a little bit on socials rather than realities of hardship and hunger. I think that's what Akindele is doing. How can he say that the man will end up becoming DG of the campaign organization when the man has already told you that he's an interested presidential candidate? And he has not really told you whether he's coming back to do it on the platform of Labour or ADC. All he knows is that anywhere that is conducive for him, he will try his luck from there. After all, he left PDP against all odds and went to Labour. And yet, the masses and the youth followed him, irrespective of tribe. That was why he was able to win in Lagos, won in most of the South, South, and North Central, plus the Southeast. So it's a question of the person, not the party. So if the big weights who felt aggrieved, both in APC and PDP, ends up in ADC and picks somebody based on the weight of the pocket and what he's able to distribute, and himself feels that things will not work well the way he felt in 2020, build up to 2023, and left their PDP, he may forget the ADC. And if he looks at Labour again, that Labour is not cohesive, not trying to put their acts together, he can decide and leave the same place and go to any party that is ready to offer him the platform. And his followers, obviously, will still follow him to that place because they believe in him and what he's capable of doing. And I'm sure the worry of the followers and the greater majority of the Nigerian masses is, should there be a level playing ground? That is what I've been asking. I say it's $1 billion question. Maybe by the time we get there, we'll see how it will play out.
You are Peter Obi's friend. I'm very aware of that. In fact, you guys attended the same school. I want to ask you, would you advise a Peter Obi to, instead of moving to another party, because APC says this ADC thing will not last 6 months. With the way things are going, that the house might break because the issue of who's going to be the president will show up. And then, like even Rufai said, that Obi might decide to move away to, get to another political party, and then Atiku might just, decide to stay there, with the ADC. But then APC has said the house will break 6 months. Just give them 6 months. The house will break. Now, would you advise, like I was saying, would you advise a Peter Obi to, instead of, maybe getting angry and leaving the ADC, would you advise him to accept becoming the vice president as a friend and a brother to you?
The Peter Obi I know will not accept that role of becoming vice president anymore. He believes he has passed that level. That rather than that, he will remain a politician and a businessman he has always been, and move on with his life on that trajectory. That's the Obi I know.
Really?
And then coming to the advice, you say I should give him. Well, when a man makes up his mind that is interested in a particular pursuit, the target is his. All we need to do is to support him in prayers and wish him luck, wish him the best. And then, like what you're saying about giving ADC 6 months, they will capitulate. The person making such a projection may be very, very wrong at the end of the day, because that was what the PDP said about APC in 2012, 2013, when they were coming together. They were laughing at them, people like Jerry Ghana and so on. They said that there is a coalition of strange bedfellows. And At the end of the day, that coalition came from becoming strange bedfellows to win an election with a very wide margin of over 2.5 million or so. You know, from that coalition that was being looked down on. Who told them that the same thing cannot repeat again in 2027? Because, you see, the people, the masses, when they look at quality of governance, vis-a-vis what people are going through, the economy is not, in looking of security, you can't even, look at the whole state. Benue, look at Plateau. People are totally displaced. They are in IDP camps. We are suffering the north of Northeast Boko Haram, ravaging Borno and parts of Yobe. Then you'll be asking yourself questions. Is it that this thing has overwhelmed those people in governance that they cannot? And then every day you are now hearing the billions that they are sharing in National Assembly, allegedly anyway. And then the way the people, the ministers are living larger than life and people holding public offices. These are the allegations we read every day. And then people can't even buy a cup of gari to eat. So I'm sure the people are bitter. They need something change. They need a drastic change, whichever way it comes. And if you give them space, that's why I say, if you leave a level playing ground, you'll see something will happen. So anybody predicting or looking down at the ADC or ADA or whatever name they come out with is wasting their time. That person must be a daydreamer. You can't say that. Where you will wait to see whether they are going to capitulate or not is when they do their own internal democracy, maybe their primaries, and then see who emerges. Because that's what happened in the APC. They saw Buhari emerge first, Kwankwaso came second, Atiku came third, and Rocha Sokorocha came fourth. And all of them still, in spite of that, supported Buhari, brought in all their resources, their structures, and everything, and told him, move on. We are moving as a party. We are behind you. And that was how he won. Who said the same thing cannot repeat in APC, ADC or ADA, whatever name they end up with? And the thing is this, I'm sure some of those apostles or prophets coming up with such predictions could be fifth columnists who have been routing of a way to disintegrate that package, that coalition. Because you can't rule out that. There are those that will be coming from different flanks with a view or with a package, whatever it will cost or whatever it will take. It's all politics. Go and scatter them. Continue to cause confusion in that place. And you know, somebody like Wike could be a champion in leading such a crusade to go and disorganize whoever will scuffle the enjoyment he's now having as a super minister of FCT, you know, and the governor of the 37th state in Nigeria. In quotes.
In quotes, I love that. I love that. Okay, now, CB, let's go. I asked the question earlier. Let's look at the other side of the coin. If Peter Obi becomes the VP now, don't you think it will pave the way for a southern candidate or a southeast candidate? Don't you think it will give the Igbos a chance of becoming of having a presidential candidate?
It doesn't work that way. Number one is that for you, that you are a VP, it does not translate that when the man finishes his tenure, automatically that you're going to be the president. Take, for instance, the issue
Every
of
VP
Osibajo.
wants to be the president.
But it doesn't end up that way. See what has happened to Atiku. He had the opportunity in 2-3 and the thing wasted. Now, see, the same thing repeated on Osibajo. He was not ambitious to become president, but because of his sterling performance, his principal, Buhari, asked him, supported him to come out for the primaries, which he did. But the Nigerian factor eventually made sure he came third. You know, as Rotimi Amechi came second, and Asiwaju picked the flag and ended up becoming the president. So I don't foresee a situation of P2B accepting to do any vice presidential candidate or even becoming the vice president, because obviously he knows that place is a dead end. So it's either he comes out straight like he did in 2023, try his luck. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, it's not the end of life. He moves on with his life and do other things.
I hear that I hear that a group of young professionals from the southeast have inaugurated a political pressure group to support the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. A group of young professionals from the southeast, and they are called SEPA 2027. Yeah, Southeast Progressive Ambassadors. That is what is codenamed. Southeast Progressive Ambassador, SEPA 2027.
I'm sure if you look closely at that SEPA, people like Hope Uzodinma will likely be the ones solidly behind that. And then all the members in that group are businessmen. They are looking for what the stomach will eat and fester their businesses. So there's still nothing wrong in that. It is still constitutional. They have their freedom of right of association. It's as enshrined in sections 32 to 45 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended. So they are very free. Who told you that such a group cannot come out again from either the Arewa axis or from the southwest, for either Atiku or for P2B? So there is nothing wrong in that. Businessmen will always be businessmen. And they are, if you're thinking of your own, of how you have good governance, they are only interested on how their businesses will boom and how they will survive from regime to regime. So you will not blame those young men, those Southeast professional whatever association or SEPA. So it's okay. It's in order. It all makes the politics to be flamboyant and colorful. We are watching from the sidelines.
Okay.
And as things unfold, we continue to analyze it.
From Southeast, I will take you to Abuja quickly, where campaign posters and billboards promoting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu re-election bid in 2027 have, continued to surface across Abuja, despite the fact that the Independent National Electoral Commission is yet to release a timetable or lift the ban on political campaigns. Now, the question is either the presidency approves of it or is deliberately turning a blind eye? What do you think?
That the president would like it, or the presidency would be very happy with that development. And if you were in his shoes or in his position, will you stop such a support or campaign for you remaining or retaining your office? The answer is no. You will be very pleased with such developments. So it is obvious he's enjoying it. The presidency is enjoying it, and they are tacitly and quietly giving their support to it. And if you check out well, you see that these things are done by beneficiaries of the system, who are either contractors or businessmen, who has been heavily favored by the present dispensation. So they will want continuation of those goodies. That's why they are losing their senses and they're rushing to the strategic points to go and mount those billboards. And as they are mounting, they are sending their messages across the villa that we are the ones doing it too. So that you have us in your good books and continue to patronize us. And then, who said it may not even be the master of FCT, the 37th governor in quotes, that is even financing that? Because the way he's enjoying that office, oh goodness me, I've never seen. He's ready to do anything to retain the office even till 2031.
CP, hold on. You will tell us more just after this break, okay? Just stay there. Stay there for me. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there.
It's time to take the next step toward your dreams. Admissions are now open for the October 2025 and January 2026 intakes at Lancaster University, Ghana. Get ready for a world-class education, global opportunities, and an unforgettable experience right from Ghana. For more information, contact us at +234 0701 708 9214 or email us at nigeria@lancaster.edu.gh. Apply today and begin your journey to success with Lancaster University, Ghana. Your future starts now.
CP, you're there. You say that I don't know why you decide to call him the 37th governor, in quote, and that he is enjoying that position seriously.
No, but he made us to know that. Did he hide it? He was telling us on one of his interviews that he weights himself with the equivalent of a governor of a state.
Oh, really?
So possibly he's doing his third term this time around as FCT governor, in quotes. So that's why I am eulogizing what he told us in an interview. If you if you look back, look for such tapes, you see where he said it during his crisis with Fubara, the governor of Rivers State, who is now on suspension.
Okay.
Yes.
What about Kwankwanso? How I mean, Kwankwanso is on a fix right now. Don't you think so? Kwankwanso is facing very tough decision, because heavyweights people are leaving to the APC, to the ADC.
You see, Kwankwaso will be making two calculations. Number one, age is on his side. Number two, he is very keen on becoming president in 2031. That's from my own analysis, anyway, from my own observation. So he is in between going to replace the present vice president. I'm sure that should be part of his calculation, and run along with the present incumbent, so that by 2031 he will carry go, if it is possible, if that mathematics will work out or that calculation will work out. And furthermore, because of the large percentage of votes that comes from Kano, and knowing fully well that he is politically in charge of Kano, I'm sure the APC will be very glad to get him back to that party and possibly put him in as running mate to the incumbent, and give him assurance that by 31 they will hand over the place to him. Though by 31 it may not work that same way, because that was the assurance I was given to Atiku, and he fell for it. And in 27 the tempo changed because there were conflict of interest in third term pursuit. And when the thing failed, they said, okay, since this one has failed, then come and take this one, let us see. We knew all that played out that time. So the same thing may still play out in 2031. So I'm sure Kwankwaso will be very, very careful. He'll be weighing all these options. I may decide to even go to the so-called ADC or ADA or whatever nomenclature they will come up with.
CP Chuksewomu, thank you so much. Thank you indeed this morning for your analysis. Thank you.
Thank you for accommodating and tolerating me.
VOP 90.3 FM, Lagos, Nigeria. Let's talk. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp. In case you want to reach me from outside Nigeria, also just use the WhatsApp number to make it easy for you. The WhatsApp number is 081-717-56338. 081-717-56338. Yeah, that's the WhatsApp number. Move away from your radio set. Turn down the volume. 1 minute for you. 1 minute. 60 seconds for everyone. Mind what you say on the national radio. Is that good? Okay. Let's go. Hello, good morning to you.
Jude.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me turn down the radio. Okay, my name is Peter Nwija. I'm calling from Satellite Town, Lagos.
All right.
Yeah, you see, what I'm talking about is about our brother Atiku. It's not being a patriotic Nigerian. Sorry for saying that. You see, when you look at the antecedents of people, you will know those who has Nigeria at heart and not even being personal. Because for all a while, I've just took time to understand that the Northerners are so interested in grabbing power and not delivering the real thing that Nigeria needed. That the Atiku supposed to have stepped down for other regions to thrive. Because this thing is a collective effort. Why not him step down as a elder statesman and support the Easterners so that this thing will go around and people will be happy? And me knowing I'll be as I know, even if he's denied this particular thing, he just forget about it, face his life, because I know he's going to deliver.
Thank you. He's going to deliver because you know. Let's take some other calls quickly, everyone. WhatsApp is 08171756338. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Judy. Yeah, I greet you. This is Baba G.
Okay.
Let me say this. I listened to Kenneth Okonkwo yesterday on channels, YouTube. I watched it on YouTube. That is his own personal opinion anyway. But if you ask me, most of the things we are seeing, different platform, it's just a rumor. Atiku has not told anyone that he's going to contest this 2027 coming, honestly. And the way I'm looking at it, the collation, they are very strategic. What they are going to do, they didn't tell anybody. They just keep quiet. But I'm foreseeing that they may throw up Peter Obi. And people telling you that if you put Peter Obi with Asiwaju, Peter Obi will lose the election. Well, that is their opinion too. But let me tell you, Shudi, Atiku that gathered that 6-point-something million vote, 2023, that was PDP vote, not personally Atiku. Okay. And if you look at it now, going to 2027, you may not see one single PDP again. And Obi will still gather that south, and southeast. Take it or leave it. And the only thing, if Atiku can be able to say, okay, I'm not contesting, he has not spoken a word, I'm not contesting, and people like Atiku, Rufai, and the rest can be able to speak to their people that please vote for Obi, automatically Obi will win the election. But the only problem will be INEC and the security, the police.
All right.
That is the only problem we have.
Thank you so much. That's the only one. The only. It's okay. It's fine. Thank you so much for calling anyway. Hello, good morning here.
Good morning, Kamil.
Good morning.
I want to know the difference between winning and snatching. Does this mean all these politicians use Nigerian people to fry gare, play football? We will go and queue and vote. Our vote will not count. Somebody that snatch and run away with it, they say he win. Calling somebody that he win, I'm so much annoyed over that. Winning is different. Snatching it is different. If we will not go and vote, go to the polling station and vote, let them tell us. Not that when we suffer and go and vote, then we turn our vote upside down. We say somebody win. Winning and snatch it, I want to know the difference. Snatch and run away. Let you people explain the difference to me.
Okay, one has grabbing, okay? One has grabbing, one doesn't have grabbing. One has running, the other one doesn't have, you don't have to run. You just win and stay and enjoy and laugh and smile and everything. The other one, you have to, when you snatch it, you grab it and then you run. That's the difference. With these few words of mine, I hope I've been able to. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Ikamijide.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ferry from Ayaba.
All right.
Yeah, the only apprehension from the north, I guess, to be with the we will be the trusted with that 4 years term. If they can be sure that Obi will just do only 4 years and go, I think Obi will be good to go. But it's that assurance that is the headache. How would Obi go about to convince them? Because to do otherwise, that would mean the Southern will be doing another 12 years. We will not be okay.
Okay.
So that 4 year step, Obi is also aware of the implication of becoming for another 8 years or so. That was why he's even saying 4 years. If he can convince them that 4 years will be 4 years, then Obi will be good to go.
Thank you. But he said already 4. Just give me 4. He said he doesn't need 8 years. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Calling from Igondo.
Okay.
May I delete too? You see, if Mr. Peter Gregory Obi contest for the presidential position in 2027, perhaps if we have a free, fair, and credible election and electioneering process, he might win with a very big gap or landslide. But we are not in a system yet.
Okay.
Please note this word today, where our election is credible, fair, and independent. Let me be honest to you. Somebody asked a fundamental question. Is it the result that counts or the policy of grabs and run with it? The next thing is you will take it to court issue. And let me also say this, there is a conspiracy in Nigeria about our election system. And that is why the National Population Census cannot hold for now. The perception is that the Northerners have the highest population in Nigeria, which is highly questionable. That is what most parties are using as their strength. I don't know if Atiku voluntarily decides to support Obi, very, very perfect. But if he decides to still contest, believe you me sincerely, somebody that can vie and dislodge the present administration, I tell you, must be a very strong person who has the secret. Mr. Obi is a cool politician. He doesn't believe in all of this. And you cannot play that kind of politics with these people. They will be so desperate to take it by force, by fire. I must confess, Mr. Obi is the best, will have been the best candidate. But I am seriously scared. If he's featured as the party presidential candidate, by not having a very solid agreement with the powers that be in the north, I tell you, even the Southerners, let's be honest, the Southwesterner, where the Easterner that he came from or that he hails from, look at the level of division there. What is Obi working? What is Wike working against? Wike is meant to work against everything that has to do with Obi. I'm telling you the truth. Not only Atiku. God bless you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
My brother, I like your conversation this point, sir. And I'm calling for Yoruba State. My name is Dokubo. Is it?
Okay.
I'm concerned with the second last caller talk about to count the election. So the number to count the election, I want to ask whether the number of person where you keep, and they tell they count the election. I been winning person where they cast for that casting. We are pulling unit where they will place our hands. I been waiting the count. I been number of person where you beat. Bullet they tell they count Nigerian vote. Not be winning. I wonder how they can't vote like that too. Concerning Peter Obi running as a president is very, very good. It's good to make it rescue Nigeria. I like it. It's okay.
Okay.
My brother, make them support the man, make it help Nigerians.
Okay.
If you go do the thing alone, why did they ask whether you go do it alone? If an article win, can you still do it alone? Chabin idea, they do all the manipulation we do for 2023, he don't do anything. And now I want to do something. Because Peter Obi no hat to anybody. That is why he be like that. Now you go see come out. He win then that time. Mago then do everybody know.
It's okay.
I don't know why they come the line.
Thank you.
A whole big people.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love that last line. Why they can't they lie? A whole big people. Hello, good morning here. What's your name?
I'm Edward calling from Sango. Good morning, everybody.
Let's go.
You see, this coalition, they must be very careful. They must be very, very careful because this is the last hope for the nation. In covering a match, they should plan very, very well. If they inside the attack, if they see that the number that supported Obi to go is high, let them allow Obi to go. Because number one, have a clear. Even if Atiku like, make he reach 82 years, he will still rule Nigeria. If the starting is okay. But where I'm going also now is that all these protests so we're in always good. Let him capitalize on the annex reform so that it will carry the whole matter along. Because annex have known now that people are talking about their inadequacy. Okay. So annex is for now supposed to tell Nigeria how very transparent the 2027 election supposed to be.
Thank you.
So if they fail to do that, if this story talk about it on a talk of protest, let the masses of Nigeria support that protest. Because that is the problem Nigeria is facing now.
Thank you. Appreciate your call. To some messages quickly. Kenneth Okonkwo, he is entitled to his own opinion. 2027 presidential election will be between APC and the Nigerian masses. And the basic Cosmos from Ikeja is saying that. And then, grabbing and snatching, Jude, you are funny with your explanations. Wait till you make I talk. Now him now. That's how to describe it. Nigerian Tinubu will not allow power to go out of his hands because even if he lost, he will cancel the election. Okay. Let's look at more messages now. My question is, have we finished Atiku's regime? Or have we finished? Is it Atiku or Tinubu? Have we finished Tinubu's regime that we are campaigning now? Because Tinubu, why are you shaming us in your tenor? Mommy Sam from Ayobo. Good morning, Nikami Jude. Our local Democratic Congress, ADC. Not them. From Master Bo. Is that what you say? Good morning to you. You have said it all. Thanks so much, CP Chooks, for your explanations about Peter Obi. He's a very big tree. Onyeka from Ojo. Good morning. Please tell me why. What's your name? Okay, you are on your own. Very on your own. Okay. Good morning to you. Ken Lukungo is scared that Peter Obi might not give him appointment because Peter Okonkwo. Oh God. What's your name? On ADC coalition, presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar will be a lesser evil, while Peter Obi will be a new Nigeria. The choice is left, for Nigerians. Okay. Prince Ayotek, there is no doubt about what the governor said. ADC will win the election in 2027, and Obi will be what now? Will shame the opposition. It's okay. Your messages are lengthy. Just make it brief, okay? PDP made mistake in 2023 by not giving Peter Obi presidential ticket that made him leave, and now they are regretting it. Now that most of the PDP are in, this new coalition, they shouldn't repeat the same mistake. I think it should have been like a father figure years ago, like Ashiwaju before, all of this. Those who said he has been a federal man and knows the game should explain to us why Tinubu defeated, Chief Udo, thank you so much. Let's leave it there. Good morning to you, Ikami Jude. Kenneth Okonkwo is entitled to his own opinion and has just one vote. This coalition should please support the best man, for the president so that our suffering will stop. Neka from Surulere sent that message to me. Kenneth Okonkwo is in the class of Reno Mokri, Femi Fanikayode, political attacker with barely infrastructure in mind. I appeal to Nigerians to keep pushing for electoral reform, and in 2027, election, Nigerian would vote against drained and whatever. It's okay. Kenneth Okonkwo is still living in bond. When they talk, Nigerians. What is it? Your opinion, though? A gay from Agege saying I should say here that even new Nigeria must be achieved. The present visionless political party, APC, must be ousted. Then first, Atiku should lead while Obi vice for 4 years. After this, Peter Obi contests for normal 8 years. Alternatively, let Obi pick any of the other viable political parties and contest against APC and PDP and ADC come 2027. What we Nigerians want is a new Nigeria. No matter which side the presidential candidate comes from, though, presently, Obi is the best of all the presidential candidates in Nigeria. You've said it. Can I just read this message and then run? Good morning to you. I am writing from Ikorodu. Someone should help me tell Kenneth Okonkwo that he was wrong, or he is wrong. Yes, he knew he has blown his chances of being part of the Obi's candidate. Thank you so much. I have to go now, but I'll be here later. Yeah, by 11 a.m., I will be back here to talk more. Let's talk deep political matters. And of course, I will also analyze some of these your messages, okay? By 11 when I come here. I love you all so much. On Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube, I am IKAMIJUDEH. IKAMIJUDEH. Just one word, okay? My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. Good morning, Nigeria.
Please note, the views and opinions expressed on this program solely those of the individual contributors and do not necessarily represent the official views of the Voice of the People 90.3 FM, Lagos. We do not endorse or take responsibility for any content shared by our followers or third-party users. Thank you.
The Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LASEC, is calling on the residents of the state above 18 years and in possession of the permanent voters card to come out and exercise their franchise in the forthcoming local government elections slated for 12th of July 2025. This election provides ample opportunity for residents to freely choose their representatives at the local government level. We urge you to be patriotic, not to sell your vote, and say no to violence during the exercise. This message is brought to you by the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission last year.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VO